Hi everyone, this is Maverick Paul, the Chemistry Guru. Now in this video, we want to discuss the suggested solution for 2020 A-Levels H2 Chemistry Paper 1, question 10. Alright, let's take a look at question 10. The reaction of iodine with propanone in the presence of aqueous acid is zero order with respect to iodine. So the question is asking which diagram represents the variation of I2 concentration with time, and we have four options talking about the changes of my concentration of my I2 as the reaction proceeds. So clearly the topic tested in this question will be under kinetics, but maybe before we try to look at the options, let us consider the topic involving kinetics, and we run through some brief ideas that will be useful for us to answer this question. So if I consider my rate equation, we do know that under kinetics, we have to be able to write out the rate equation. The rate equation is based on this expression. The rate of the reaction is equal to a rate constant K multiplied by the concentration of reactant A to a certain power M, which represents the order of the reaction with respect to A, and the concentration of my reactant B raised to a certain power, again N. It is the order of the reaction with respect to B. And if, let's say, we have three reactants, there will be another concentration term involving that reactant raised to the power of its order of the reaction. Just to discuss on this a bit, if I consider K, which is my rate constant, it will be affected by two terms. It will be affected by changes in temperature. The higher the temperature, the bigger the rate constant K, and it's also affected by the activation energy. So if, let's say, I am adding a catalyst and I lower the activation energy of this particular reaction, activation energy will be lowered. The rate of the reaction will also increase because the rate constant also increases. So we do need to know when I'm changing temperature, when I'm adding a catalyst, what is affected is the K is affected, and so therefore the rate of the reaction is affected. Now, how about concentration of the reactants? Concentration of the reactants, we do know that it affects the rate of the reaction, but it depends on the order of the reaction with respect to that reactant. So in syllabus, we have three different orders: order 0, order 1, order 2. So based on the information given in the question, sometimes we do need to deduce the order of the reaction with respect to each of the reactant, and essentially this will be my rate equation. Now the question they give me this information, it says that it is zero order with respect to iodine. So what does it mean in terms of the rate equation? Now with respect to I2, this is a zero order reaction. So with respect to iodine, we would expect the rate to be something like this. The rate equals to a constant K multiplied by the concentration of my I2. Order 0 means that the power term is 0. So we can express this to rate equals to K term, because concentration of my I2, if I power this to a power of 0, then it will just be 1, correct? So my rate will be a K term, which means that my rate, it is a constant term, and it is not affected by the concentration of I2. It means that regardless of the concentration of I2, when I have a lot of iodine, the rate of the reaction is equals to K. When I have very little iodine, the rate of the reaction is still equals to K. So this is the meaning of zero order with respect to iodine. And the rate of this reaction is also the gradient of my concentration time graph. So we would expect for this question, the graph that we want to look out for is we want a constant gradient. The rate is equals to K throughout the entire process. So once we have this in mind, then we can run through the options A, B, C, D. We see which is my best answer. Now if you look at option A, the concentration of your I2, it is a constant throughout the entire process. Now concentration of I2 constant doesn't mean that the rate, it is a constant. It is actually different. So concentration of I2 constant, what this means is there is no change in the amount of your I2 throughout the reaction. So there are two possibilities. One possibility is I2, it is a catalyst. That means it is chemically reacted back at the end of the reaction. So therefore the amount of it stays the same throughout the entire process. Another possibility is it is a non-reactant. That means it doesn't take part in the reaction at all. Of course, we do know that based on the information given in the question, I2, it is the reactant. So A is not the correct answer, since the question tells me that the rate is zero order with respect to I2. A shouldn't be the answer. Now how about option B? Now B, it is a much better answer because you notice at the beginning, the concentration of my I2 when it is high, the gradient will be equals to the rate of the reaction. You notice there's a certain slope and that will indicate the rate of the reaction when I have high concentration of I2, correct? Now as the reaction proceeds, as the time proceeds, you notice the concentration of my I2 slowly it decreases, but the gradient remains the same because this is a straight line. So it tells me that the rate of the reaction remains constant. And this is the concentration time graph for a zero order reaction with respect to I2. So B, it is the best answer because throughout the process, the gradient, which represents the rate of the reaction, remains constant. So this is zero order with respect to I2. Regardless of the concentration of I2, the rate of the reaction remains the same. So B, most likely, it is the answer. But let us run through the rest of the options and try to understand, okay, in what situation would it be for option C? In what situation would it be for option D? Now, how about C? C, you notice this is a more typical curve. At the beginning, when you have a very high concentration of I2, the gradient it is very steep, which tells me that the rate of the reaction is very fast. As the reaction proceeds, you notice towards the tail part of the reaction, when the concentration of my I2 it is lower, the gradient becomes more gentle. So at the beginning, the rate of the reaction is very fast. Progressively, when the amount of your I2 decreases, the rate of the reaction gets slower and slower. So this is actually more intuitive. We actually do expect most of the situations to be like that. When you have more reactants, the reaction is faster. When you have less reactants, the reaction becomes slower and slower. All right, so this is more intuitive and it is a lot more common. So you notice the gradient decreases or the rate of the reaction decreases as the concentration of your I2 goes down. And this shape of the curve for my concentration time graph will be for my first order or second order reaction with respect to your I2. And the difference between first or second order reaction will be the half-life. Half-life, it is the time taken for me to decrease the concentration of my reactant by 50% to half of its original amount. So if half-life it is a constant, it is a first order reaction, but if half-life it is not a constant, it will be a second order reaction. So when I see the shape of the graph in this way, it is a curve, then we know that, okay, let me try to find the half-life. If half-life it is a constant, I know that this is first order. If half-life is not a constant, I know that this is second order. Zero order reaction is very simple. This will be a straight line. Gradient, it is a constant. So rate, it is a constant. This is a zero order reaction. So one important component involving kinetics is based on the concentration time graph and based on the slope or the shape of this concentration time graph, can I deduce the order of the reaction with respect to a particular reactant? So we do need to know that. Now finally, for option D, you notice at the beginning, the rate of the reaction is very slow. The gradient is very gentle, all right, at the beginning here, when you have very high concentration of I2, but slowly it increases, it picks up speed, and it becomes faster and faster, correct? You notice when I slowly decrease the concentration of I2, the rate of the reaction actually becomes faster and faster, it picks up speed, the gradient becomes steeper and steeper, the rate of the reaction becomes faster and faster. But eventually it reaches a point, maybe somewhere here, then the rate of the reaction again starts to slow down because the gradient becomes more and more gentle. How do we explain this particular graph and under what scenario do we have something like this? Now, this shape involving concentration time graph, it is very typical of autocatalysis. That means if let's say I have a particular reaction where the product form, it will catalyze its own reaction, then the shape of your concentration time graph will be something like this. Because at the beginning, when we have very little products, which is a catalyst, so when I have very few catalysts, the rate of the reaction is very slow. But as the reaction proceeds, it will start to form more and more products, correct? So therefore, the amount of the products increases, the amount of the catalysts increase, and therefore the rate of the reaction will slowly increase and gets faster and faster. So at the beginning, the rate of the reaction is very slow, but along the way, it gets faster and faster because I'm forming more and more products and I'm forming more and more catalysts. Now, eventually, this cannot goes on indefinitely. That means the rate of the reaction cannot increase all the way until it becomes infinity and the reaction stops, because the limiting factor towards the end of the reaction as you are forming more and more products, and when you have less and less reactants, eventually you'll still be limited by the amount of the reactant. Then the rate of the reaction, or the second part of the reaction, will be dominated by the decreasing concentration of the reactant. So at the beginning, the rate of the reaction is dominated by the catalyst. As I have more and more catalysts, the rate of the reaction picks up. But towards the second half of the reaction, the rate of the reaction is dominated by the decreasing concentration of the reactant. Not enough reactants. Even if you have a lot of catalysts, even if you have a lot of products, it doesn't really affect the rate of the reaction. I'm running out of reactants. So as the concentration of the reactant decreases, the rate of the reaction will still eventually taper off and it becomes slower and slower. So this is actually a very typical concentration time graph for autocatalysis. That means the product form will catalyze the reaction. So do know how to recognize this autocatalysis. Alright, so we've run through the options A, B, C, D. Of course, since the question tells me that the reaction is zero order with respect to I2, the best answer for this question will be option B. Alright, so that is the suggested solution for question 10. If you have learned something useful from this video, please give me the thumbs up, like this video, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more weekly video lessons. That's all for now. I'll see you next week.